What do a 10-year-old, a grandpa, and a music teacher have in common? They're all hearing the world more clearly thanks to this Knoxville Audiology clinic. So tell us your name and your role here at the clinic.
Well, hi, my name is Brittany Arnold, and I'm our Business Development Manager at Volunteer Hearing.
What inspired you to work in audiology?
Well, it's so funny. Honestly, I was lucky enough for audiology to find me. Growing up, I always wanted to be in a profession where I was able to help people and make a difference in the world. I grew up with a grandfather that always had a hearing impairment due to exposure to loud noises, and just seeing the benefit that he had from hearing instruments and how that enhanced his life, it really just interested me in getting into the field. And so it's just been a huge blessing overall, truly.
Wow, it's so nice when we see that something we can do can impact people's lives, and you've learned from it through your grandpa.
Absolutely.
Wow. So what kind of services do you provide?
So at Volunteer Hearing, we offer everything from hearing evaluations, hearing aid fittings, as well as hearing aid cleaning checks and adjustments. We also offer custom hearing plugs for like hunting or anything that you're exposed to loud noises, such as like shooting guns and things of that nature as well.
So when you say custom, that means like they're fitted specifically for their ear?
Yes, so that means that the hearing protection would be molded exactly to the shape of their ear to ensure the best quality for them. We also have a concierge service where we can go to our patients. So I believe that that is something that sets us apart, and it also helps the families as well.
So you can go directly to patients, like do like home visits?
Absolutely. So we do everything from home visits to if someone is in like an assisted living, we can also go there. Also, if you're a busy professional that it's hard to get away from work, that is something that we can meet you at the office and do your testing there.
That's so nice, because especially if somebody is elderly and they don't really have the access to driving, you can come straight to them.
Absolutely. We've seen just the hardship of, certain families that they have a lot of appointments that they personally have to get to, along with taking their loved one that maybe can't drive and can no longer get out and about. So it is a huge benefit to those families.
Wow, what a valuable service.
Yeah. So I would say it is a good idea. If you're not seeing any signs of hearing loss, then it is good when you turn around 50 to get a good baseline test. It's a good place to start.
What are some signs that people should watch out for?
I would say some important signs. If you feel like you are in a crowded area and you're struggling to hear, maybe in a lot of background noise, if you find yourself turning up the television or your telephone extremely high, if you're struggling to hear on the telephone, that is a big one. I would say if you do see any of those signs or any of those things that you're struggling with, it's a good time to get a good baseline test just to see where your hearing is at.
Okay. Do you have people that come to you for tinnitus or anything like that?
We do offer tinnitus solutions as well, and our owner actually specializes in tinnitus solutions. There's a lot that can be done with that, and so if you're not aware of what tinnitus it is, it would be like a ringing, roaring, or buzzing in your ears. So if that is something you're experiencing, there is a solution for that, and we would love to help with that as well.
That's great, because I know that when I've researched it, because occasionally I'll have a little buzzing, and they don't really show many solutions or much help for that. So
Absolutely.
You can offer help for that. That's fantastic.
Yes.
A constant.
Yes. It's so funny too. We've had one of our ladies, she was like, I questioned, is that still a thing? Because she had been wearing her hearing instruments for probably 6 to 8 months. And she was like, it's crazy because it had went away. And I thought, well, I'm good. So she said, I wanted to test it out for a day. And we were actually at a meeting one day, and she was like, oh my goodness, I didn't wear them. And she said, it's driving me crazy not wearing them. And because it's like it came back. And so she was saying, just noticing the fact of how that has helped was amazing to her.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's such a huge, because it will just drive you to where you're like, I can't deal with this anymore. Kind of like when you have a song stuck in your head and it won't leave.
Absolutely.
And you're just like,
always on loop.
Are there any common myths about hearing loss or hearing aids?
Yes, I would say one of the myths would be if I talk louder. And just speaking louder doesn't necessarily help as far as the clarity. What helps when someone has hearing loss is to be facing them directly, because a lot of times people with hearing loss really rely on the lips and reading the lips. I would say another myth as far as like hearing aids or hearing technology, you hear a lot of times, I've tried that and they don't work, or I've not seen the benefit. There are a lot of differences as far as like hearing amplifiers, over-the-counter hearing aids, and there is a big difference between that and having a licensed audiologist that has their doctorate test your hearing and then set a set of hearing aids to that prescription of your hearing loss. So I would just encourage people, if you have had that issue, that it's definitely good to give it another try. There are a lot of options.
Right. And then too, like over time, it changes, right? Like your hearing and like the loss may be more or...
Absolutely. Your hearing can change as well as technology advances. You would be amazed just over a 4-year time period, the difference in hearing instruments and how much that they do expand and change.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yes.
Just as much as everything else has changed.
Absolutely. Technology is wonderful.
Yes. How has hearing technology changed and advanced?
I would say over the last few years, it has really changed drastically, especially in background settings where people truly struggle. In the past, you would have to have a lot of different settings for maybe when you were in a restaurant or maybe when you're in a crowded group, things of that nature. But now they have really worked on that quite a bit. And so I would say that has advanced, as well as Bluetooth capability, which also really does help as far as while you're on the telephone or if you're watching television. There are a lot of accessories and options to utilize there that can enhance when you are listening to the TV or on the telephone.
So it's similar to like the AirPods that they have like the noise canceling.
Absolutely. It's like you have your own custom pair of AirPods that you can,
that fits in your ear and won't fall out.
Exactly. You'll see people walking around talking on them and you'll think, are they talking to themselves? No, it's the Bluetooth through the hearing aid.
Oh, yes. Wow. You know what? I do. My mom actually has a friend that she would be talking on her phone through her hearing aid.
Yes.
And at first I was like, what is wrong with her?
She talking to herself?
Yeah. But I mean, I guess now we're used to people just talking to themselves.
Yes, this is true too.
So that comes into the next thing. What cool features can people expect with their hearing assistants?
Yeah, I would say overall, some of the best features that I think that have really been beneficial as well, as far as the Bluetooth capability, if you do have certain types of smartphones, you can link your hearing instruments to your phone, and they have an app, and so, or most of them do. And with the app, it can locate your hearing aids. So let's say you have misplaced your hearing aids, you've lost them, you laid them somewhere, and you don't know where they are. The app can locate the hearing aid, and it can tell you the last place that the hearing aid was turned on, and you would be amazed at the amount of people that have thought they have lost their very expensive hearing aids and have been able to locate them.
That's huge.
Yeah. So I love that. I feel like that's a huge advantage too, because in the past, I mean, it's one of those things, where are they? I don't know. I hope they show up. Or, you know, we have avid gardeners and people that like to mow. It's amazing the amount of people that have lost them while working in the yard and then have located them through that.
That's a big loss.
Yes, it is. It's a pricey loss.
Share a story with us that really stuck with you.
I would say it's really hard to pick one story. There are a lot of instances, just from seeing, we have quite a few patients that are bedbound, and knowing like how much they rely on us and their hearing just to feel involved. And as well as, you know, going to assisted living facilities and being able to see people. But I would say a couple of my favorite stories, it's hard to pick one, but one, a gentleman had left from being fit with his hearing aids, and he had called a couple hours later, and he was like, I got home and I poured a bowl of cereal. Cereal makes noise when you pour it. I would say that was a huge one, just for the simple fact of you think and you take the like little things in life for granted so often, I feel like, and just the fact that he was so excited to hear his cereal pour and not know that it made a sound, that was huge. I would say another one of my favorite stories is one of our ladies at a senior center that we had met. We had tested her hearing, fit her with hearing aids, and she had really kind of withdrawn from a social setting because it was hard for her to hear in those settings. And she was so excited when I saw her because she was like, it had been so long since I'd got to play cards. And she was like, since having my hearing aids, she had even purchased like a little companion mic that she sits on the table, so therefore she can pick up everybody's voices and what they're saying. And she was so excited just with the simple fact that she was being able to play cards again with her friends.
So it's not just improving their hearing, you're improving their lives.
Absolutely. Overall lifestyle, which is huge.
Wow.
Yes.
I would have never thought of that.
It's the little things. It really is that make up the big things.
You like stop just being in this and seeing how other people or how their lives are improved? Does it make you stop and think about the little things too? Like,
absolutely. Just the little things you take for granted, or the little things that can even annoy you, as far as when you're driving down the road and road noise, things of that nature that you don't even know that you're missing. Or another one, we've had one lady called and she was like, my refrigerator is so loud. And it's like, yes, it has been that loud this entire time. But yes, the little things. Good and bad.
Turn it off.
Exactly.
What is the most rewarding part of your job?
I would say just overall, just seeing the quality of life that people get to have and the enhancement that hearing instruments do make when there is a hearing loss. And not only that too, but I feel like communication with their family and their loved ones. You hear so often, like you'll see husbands and wives come in that they're just kind of at each other because they feel like they can't understand each other because they can't communicate adequately because they can't hear properly.
Right.
And just seeing the difference in that and them coming in smiling and laughing, it makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very rewarding.
I can see that because like if somebody can't hear and you're constantly having to repeat yourself to them, and then you get to the point to where you're just like, I'm just not even going to say anything at all.
Absolutely. Then you just shut off that communication, and that's a sad place to be. Yeah.
So what would you say to someone who's nervous about getting their hearing checked?
I would say I can understand it's the unknown, and the unknown can be a scary thing. But I can assure you, from the moment you walk in the door, our audiologists are wonderful about easing that fear and answering any questions you may have or any concerns. So I would just say, come prepared and come excited, because we're going to be able to help you, and you're going to leave feeling so much better and so much more at ease about the situation.
How can families help their loved ones or support them through this hearing journey?
I think that is a huge part of it. I feel like sometimes people are discouraged and they've heard about hearing aids and things of that nature, and they don't really want to go. I think it's very important, if you have a loved one that struggles with hearing loss, just to explain to them the importance of wanting to have that relationship with them, as well as it is very important if you do have someone that has hearing loss and they do schedule an appointment to come in. It is very important, and it's very helpful for you to come in to the appointment with them, because if we do fit hearing instruments, if you think about it, that's the voice that you hear the most often. Mm-hmm. And so it's really helpful for you to be there to make any type of adjustments and things of that nature, since you all are going to be communicating the most.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
What's next for the clinic?
So we are excited. We are forever growing, which is a wonderful thing. We have for some time provided services for Department of Labor, Department of Energy, and Workers' Comp. We are currently looking to add 3 more independent or assisted livings to our rotation. So with that, it would be a location that we go either monthly or bi-monthly, just depending on the need. So I would say if anybody knows of a location that could utilize our services, that would be a wonderful asset. And it's also a wonderful thing for the assisted livings as well, to be able to tell their new residents, this is something we have to offer. We have an audiologist that comes every month to either test hearing, clean and check hearing aids, make sure that everything is up to par where it should be.
That's a huge value add.
Yes.
Absolutely. Do you have multiple locations across Knox County?
We're a little bit of everywhere, which is wonderful. Yes. And it's wonderful too, because most of our audiologists, they either have 1 or 2 locations that they are stationary at. And so it is important, I feel like too, when you get established with an office, that you see the same doctor. Mm-hmm. And so I would say that is also a benefit as far as our office. If you come in, more than likely you're going to be able to see that same physician each time. Therefore, you can grow that relationship with them as well.
So for first-time checkups or life-changing technology, come see my friend Brittany Arnold here at Volunteer Hearing. She will take great care of you, and she'll make sure that you can hear all your loved ones.